and let us all do we can to build a better future. With that being said, I actually got an additional follow-up to Daniel's story. We're going to talk, bring it on home to Illinois with our Senate, with our fine U.S. Senator, Dick Durbin. Shout out to Case Study QB.
Yeah, you're speaking too loud. You're offending everyone. No one's going to listen to your content
Here. Dick is going to explain why we got to, why we don't have time for a stimulus. So let's listen to good old Dick and hear what he's got to say. Play that video.
Senator Bernie Sanders and Ed Markey now have said that they will object and hold up the defense bill veto override until the Cash Act is voted on. Do you support that? Do you think that that's a good idea?
In 48 hours, the veto override of the president will pass the United States Senate with a strong bipartisan vote. Speeches will be given between now and then, but the reality is this president vetoed a wildly popular bipartisan bill to help our military. We're going to override his veto in 48 hours, no matter what any senator says.
It seems like that could be the only option that Democrats have to do, based on what you're saying, to do anything about the Cash Act and kind of force McConnell's hand. If that is the only option, why is it not worth doing what Senator Sanders is saying he will do to try and make sure that that stimulus check does get a vote?
We don't have the time. We don't have the time to do it. At noon on Sunday, a new Congress starts. Any bill from the previous Congress, like the $2,000 bill that Nancy Pelosi passed with Democrats and Republicans in the House, dies at noon on Sunday. Senator McConnell knows that he can slow down the process so that that bill will never see the light of day in the Senate. He is the one decision maker, the Republican leader, who is stopping this bill for American families.
And shifting now to...
All right, let's get the camera on me for 1 second. Senator Dick Durbin. We don't have time. You have time for the military-industrial complex. You have time to, and you and your colleagues have time to go on breaks. When I did a freelance gig for the People's Lobby and covered a protest in front of your office building, Dick, they were asking for more than just one stimulus check. They were asking for you to fight for them, Dick, and you weren't even there to acknowledge them. You were probably on vacation, enjoying time with your friends and family. At the height of a pandemic, you're safe because you and your colleagues have good health care, Dick. You and your colleagues have time to go on vacations, Dick. All of your friends in Congress and all of your lobby groups. Remember when you said about the banks that run this place? They run Washington, D.C., Dick? Hey, what about the people? What about providing health care for the people? What about fighting for a stimulus check? What about calling out Mitch McConnell? What about actually fighting? You got time to challenge Trump and his veto against the military-industrial complex, but you don't have time for stimulus. I guess it's not worth your time, Dick. So then why are you in office, Dick? Why should we even listen to you, Dick, if you don't even care about the people, Dick? So with all due respect, with all due disrespect, Dick, if you don't have time to fight for us, maybe it's time for you to find another profession. Yeah, you're a big old bad U.S. Senator, part of that gang of six, right? Let me tell you something. When millions of Americans are still at risk of being evicted at the end of January 31st, what's going to be your excuse then? You and your Democratic Party. Because right now, it's not looking too good. You better hope you guys build some infrastructure. You better hope you better change your minds and start fighting for the people. Because if not, 2022... and 2024 will be a massacre for the Democratic Party. And it's not the progressives and independents' fault that you're not listening to us. It's the Democrats' hubris and pride that are choosing not to fight for us that will be your downfall. So until then, be pragmatic. Run austerity politics and see how things will change for you guys. Biden has said nothing's going to fundamentally change. But, in 2022, there's a good chance there might be less Democrats in office because how the hell are you going to inspire anyone when you say you just don't have time?
Yeah, and let's also connect it to the story that I just did right before this. This makes the point I was trying to make. They're not going to do anything. On one side of the equation, you have Mitch McConnell saying that the rich are the people getting the stimulus. And even if he's talking about higher income bracket people, they're paying more in taxes than they're getting back on that check. So I'm not sure really what he means by it, except to muddy the waters. And on the other side, you have Dick Durbin that says, hey, it's more important that we fund the military than we do this. On one side, you're a terrible person from getting stimulus. On the other side, you're complaining too much. The result is still the same. They don't want to do it. You're not that important. Now be quiet. And I think to follow up what Kit's been saying, I think if there's one thing we can agree about Dick Durbin, he sucks.